Swedish record champions face their bogey team in today's matchday vlog. Can they break a streak of 4 consecutive defeats? Hello, this is HFV. If you're new to the channel, a warm welcome. If you're not, you probably know my obsession of Swedish football. Earlier this year, when I was writing my bachelor thesis, I promised myself I will visit as many Allsvenskan games in the rest of 2023 as I can, because I had to miss the Allsvenskan premiere. I had to miss 3 Stockholm derbies. It hurts, so it's going well so far. Only Swedish games on the channel this summer. I'm filming this in Copenhagen, where I visited a game of terrible atmosphere. Still, link below for it. The Danish capital is not far at all from Sweden's 3rd biggest city, the home to a record 22 times champions of Sweden, MALMÖ FF. It's around 20 out of 30 in Allsvenskan, and they are up against traditional Stockholm side DJURGÅRDENS IF. 3rd against 4th on the table, but Djurgården fell off a bit recently, losing 2 out of their last 3 games. I vlogged exactly these 2 teams in round 19, 6 and 7 days ago respectively, link 2 and 3 below. And I was also lucky to be there in Stockholm a month ago when these 2 faced each other. I mentioned really interesting facts about their rivalry. If you want to find out, link 4 in description. The atmosphere was sick that day, hoping for the exact same today. Djurgården are the bogey team of Malmö if you look at their last 10 head-to-head. Compared to Malmö facing AIK and Hammarby, the other 2 big clubs from Stockholm, we can conclude that Malmö have the hardest time against Djurgården. They lost their last 4 games against them. This one will be my 2nd game in Eleda Stadion, Malmö's home. The first one was a bit more than a year ago, the Skåne derby, when Malmö faced eternal rivals Helsingborg. Should I recommend it? Of course I should. Link 5 below. Malmö are the richest football club in Sweden. Their Champions League appearances last decade secured their economy. It's not a financial takeover, no. All the clubs in Sweden are strictly member-owned, see the 51% rule. They are the only team in Allsvenskan to own and not rent their stadium. There are some transfer rumors that Djurgården's Norwegian midfielder Oliver Berg could actually end up in Malmö. These 2 clubs are not friends. It would be shocking if we can believe these statistics from Transfermarkt. The last transfer between these 2 clubs took place almost 2 decades ago. It's time to go now and take the train over the Öresund bridge to Malmö. Well, half bridge, half tunnel. Let's go.
Djurgården are already here, already in Copenhagen. Welcome to Malmö. The weather is absolutely beautiful and I'm really lucky to have my accommodation near to Möllan, where quite many supporters gather. By the way, one of the comments under the recent video, someone asked how I manage all these travels. Guys, I don't remember the last time when I paid for an accommodation, you know. It's always supporters or friends helping me out, so not being for them, I wouldn't be able to manage this. Obviously I have to spend on match tickets and flights and commuting, but without people offering me a place to stay, Hungarian football vlogger wouldn't work. So massive thanks to everyone, Göteborg supporters, Djurgården supporters, AIK supporters, all have been giving me a place to stay. In Malmö it's not the case. It's one of my friends from high school who is pretty close, so that's pretty lucky. Okay, first destination is Supporterhuset, which translates as supporters house. Obviously that's where they make some tifos. Someone texted me that they make some banners there, so let's check that out. And also about staying over at friends, being low budget, all that stuff. I know it's pretty shameful to put this microphone I'm talking to people's faces and talking to this, which is like ridiculously low budget, but it's not because I don't care. It's because I also tried others and they just simply didn't work. There was no microphone taking in the noise as good as this one. But yeah, I'm working on a solution. And another thing, I wouldn't have managed this. Malmö against Djurgården wasn't the original plan. I was on family holiday in Norway and then I traveled over to Göteborg, Djurgården and Mjällby, Malmö. Those were in the plan, but then I thought, let's make the most of this travel. I have my cousin in Copenhagen, so he could help me with accommodation there. You see, like, it wouldn't work without all these people. But then when I got to the point of buying a ticket, Malmö Djurgården was actually sold out. So someone who has a season ticket but didn't visit today's game could give it away. So thank you very much to those people who were helping me out with this. Someone wrote me on Instagram that there's a ticket available and then we could sort it out, and that's why I'm here, and that's why I also go to IFK Norrköping against AIK tomorrow. And we arrived at Supporterhuset. It has a beautiful logo. I was here a year ago, but that time it wasn't in the vlog as I remember. I only visited. But this time I got a chance to include it in the vlog. It's a really nice place. It's a place where you won't find any of the official logo on the merch. Am I correct with that? What? You won't find the official logo on the merch because it's like supporters organization. Of course, yes. And there are some banners being painted downstairs. Let's check that out. So what are you up to? What banner will we see from you? You're in the supporters section, right?
Yes, yeah, that's right. We're currently making this flag. When players enter, we will hold it up and also during the game.
So yeah, so you'll put 2 sticks on it, both sides, right?
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
And also in Sweden and at Malmö, you always paint banners. You never use any other material. It's always painted by the people.
That's right.
That's guys why the Swedish supporter culture is
yes.
really special.
Yeah.
So it's always the work of the supporters in it, which you see on the stands. Thank you very much for showing me around in this beautiful place. The banner you recently showed is the first banner of yours, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. My first banner, and me and my friend here, this is our first time making a flag. So we never done something like this before.
How does this work? Do you need to have some sort of permit to prepare these flags?
Yeah, you go to this place called Supporterhuset. And then you buy like permission to make flags, and then you go here and you have all the materials and the paint and you make the flags.
Yeah, and the space and a nicely set up area to prepare all this. How do you see today's game against Djurgården? Malmö have been struggling against Djurgården, losing the last 4 games. Do you think you can turn the fortunes today?
Well, I hope so. We lost a away game to Djurgården by 2-0. It will be a tough game. It's a big game against a big team, so I think it will be tifo. And but we can definitely expect some flags.
These guys making their first flag, that's basically how you get into the supporter stuff. We have some really interesting stuff here. As mentioned before, these are the Skåne colors, red and yellow. We have this Antimobiler, which is exactly the reason why I'm never in the supporters section, or at least try to avoid it when filming, because it's obviously, if it's support, it is support. 1312, 1312 is, it stands for ACAB, which I don't think has to be explained. I just introduce it. I don't tell any opinion about it, obviously, because the vlog is always neutral, or it intends to be, but it stands for ACAB, which is actually a returning motive in the supporter culture. Here it is, 1910, a tool for it. It will appear on quite many banners since that's the foundation year of MALMÖ FF. So we have some really beautiful banners. I'll try to spot these from the stadium, and let's carry on to our next destination. That's the old stadium of Malmö, and it is next to the current one actually. The bars here, right and left, full of MFF supporters. What do you think about Djurgården in general?
It's the worst club in Sweden, and today Malmö is gonna beat on the brats with the baseball bats.
You lost on Monday against Mjällby. I'm sorry for reminding you. Do you still think you have a chance for the title? It's really tied up top. You're only 1 point behind league leaders Elfsborg.
There is always hope. A game against Mjällby is making me angry, but we always have a chance.
Who do you think could be decisive today from the Malmö players?
I guess we'll do as usual, get into the left and just get around there. Bushanello will get some good cross-ins, and maybe Vecchia will be on the scoring sheet again.
There is this rumor about Djurgården player Oliver Berg. It surprised me, to be honest. What about you guys? Would you like to see him in as blått, or should he stay blåränderna?
I'm not sure. I know that Lidström got him working very well in Kalmar, but I'm not sure. I think he chose Djurgården before Malmö, like before the season started. So I'm a little hesitating, but we maybe a good foot to have on like corner kicks and free kicks, because we haven't really showed any skills there this season.
What made you fall in love with Malmö?
I was born here.
What do you like most about the stand culture?
that we're singing and actually making a difference.
You think you can make a difference today against Djurgården after losing 4 games against them in a row?
Yes.
What do you think the score will be?
The score will be like 2-0 to Malmö, definitely.
Malmö win 4-0 today.
2-1 Malmö.
It will be 2-1, and I think Taha Ali will be this game's winner.
I just love the way leading up to the stadium in Malmö. It's so beautiful. Look at this in the park next to the lake. Here it is, the old stadium of Malmö, the one we saw in the picture in Supporterhuset. And next to it is Eleda Stadion, which is a sponsor name. And without it, it's just simply called Stadion. They didn't think long about that. The tifo lives up to the expectation. Well done to the Malmö supporters. Tahali with the ball, none of it inside the box.
Att alla ska känna sig trygga och välkomna så vill vi vara uppmärksamma på att sömnen för föraren.
Great shot by Tahali. There was quite much power in it, but over the bar. Move the ball back another 2 meters. Djurgården were really close to taking the lead in the 21st minute. We are in the 36th minute, hardly it is on the pitch. The atmosphere slowly died because the game wasn't that good. It wasn't much to enjoy except some shots over the bar. So expecting more from the teams to entertain the crowd a bit more. That's a part of it. The crowd goes much more fierce when the game is good, and it is not so far. Djurgården supporters go mad after a keeper Zetterström was pushed while jumping for the ball. This match is about fights on the pitch so far. Not really much to enjoy about a football. There are quite many breaks in the play. Of the first half. Man, terrible logistics in this stadium. Look at that, people have literally nowhere to go. The sides were cautious and sort of inaccurate in this first half. Djurgården came away quite many times on the counter. Malmö left their back open a bit, but they couldn't use the chance. And there was a stuttering play, like a lot of breaks. It was sort of housery. Hoping for much better, obviously, in the second half. A 0-0 is not what you want to see, obviously, even though it's always in it. But let's hope that they will show something, because heading into the finish, the last third of the Allsvenskan season, both of these teams would really need the 3 points today.
Before we carry on with the vlog, a short service message. You probably guessed that creating all this content abroad takes up quite much time and money. It wouldn't even be possible without generous supporters offering me a place to stay every now and then. If you have the possibility, please support my work by hitting the thanks button below the video. You can patronize the creation of future HFV videos by that, with an amount you choose yourself. Another possibility for this is the channel's Patreon page, which you can see on screen and find in the description as well. If you have no intention of sending money to the channel, it's already a huge help. If you like this video, share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel. I know there are many teenager football supporters watching this channel. In case you're one of them, ignore what I just said about sending cash. Spend it rather on yourself, your friends, or buy a new scarf of your favorite team. At your age, I was told to do the same. Thank you very much for your help in advance. Let's carry on with the game.
They need to shoot much more. 77 minutes over the bar once again. Terrible second half, just like the first. It obviously influences the atmosphere as well. Malmö do the same sort of impotent play they did against Mjällby. They have the possession, they pass around, but they don't really shoot. Now they did, but it wasn't accurate. It takes a minute for Hampus Finder to leave the pitch, so you're clearly happy with the draw. Here we have today's attendance as well, 20,072. It's technically a sold-out game, and it is close to that. Could have been the game for Djurgården. Literally, extra time is also over. Additional time, I mean. And the last chance of the game. Unbelievable. This game was destined to be a 0-0. A 0-0 is always an anticlimax for a game. Disappointed with the result, really, because the supporters prepared a lot for this one. First game of the season between the two finished 2-0. Was a much nicer one, obviously.
One single Malmö player going around and clapping the supporters. Not the chemistry we would expect between the record champions and their supporters. Unlike at Djurgården, who actually seem really
appreciative of this draw. Even though they are 8 points below Malmö on the table. Here I have some young Malmö supporters. Thank you very much for the stickers. I had a large collection of stickers given to me. You can see it on screen. What do you think of the game?
I think it was quite a poor performance. We weren't very good today, but I think we should realize that we have to work a bit harder, even though it's just the 20th game.
You didn't score against Mjällby, you didn't score today. Any message to the attackers?
I think they are trying the best, but I think they can do better.
What do you think of the support today, despite the 0-0?
I think it was quite good. You heard Malmö very much this game. Malmö made more noise than Djurgården today.
One last question. What did you think of the tifo, guys? It was pretty nice. Do you know what it was? Because you stood under it.
Yeah, it was the first logo of Malmö, the first logo from 1910.
I think the draw is a fair result in the end, but only because of the really big chances Djurgården had from the corner right before the final whistle. I really don't like goalless draws, no one does, especially not a neutral, but apparently we are not late enough in the season for the teams to push for a definite victory. Some of the supporters who gave me interviews gave me some stickers as well, you can see all of them on screen. Thank you very much, guys. The support, especially the home support, was on the verge of igniting the whole game, but we would have needed a goal for that. With the guys I interviewed after the game, we talked about an interesting aspect, which was sun in the supporters' face. I sat in a place where there was sun. I was praying for it to go away, but it didn't go because we were in that part of the day. And as you saw, the ultras got the sun in their faces whole game, which doesn't mean you can't support. They did as well. They did a great job, but it tires you out so much easier. Eleda Stadion is not a bad arena, but this is definitely a disadvantage. There was a Malmö chant I really missed, which was... It's really simple, but it sets the mood so well. It's my favorite Malmö chant if I can have one. Please do it next time, guys. The best one to include in a vlog. We'll carry on with Norrköping. That's why I'm here. It's a sort of a rush between two videos when the games are on consecutive games. So we are in Alvesta. Never thought I'm gonna stay here, but my transfer is here. So guys, see you in the Norrköping AIK vlog. I was HFV. Join me on social media if you liked what you saw, and see you in the next one in Norrköping. Goodbye.